Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Fostering Southwest podcast. You've got myself and Carrie here as normal. Nice to see you again, Carrie. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Enjoyed the summer?
Brilliant. Yes, it's been a lovely summer so far. So hopefully when this episode's going out, the weather will have remained. Although it has hailed the whole way down to Plymouth today and it did feel like Christmas.
Yeah, not sure your tan will remain that long.
I'll make it rain. More like to remain than the hair, but it's fine. So today we are joined by an extra special guest and someone who it's been a real pleasure to work quite closely with over the last almost year and a half now.
Yeah.
I think probably a year since we've got involved with them.
Yeah.
We have introduced them in past episodes, so we're really pleased to get them on board, and we'll hand over to Jo, who's the founder of Mood Bears. Hello, Jo.
Hello, lovely to meet you both.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm Jo. I am the founder, the CEO, the everything Mrs. Mood Bear, creator from ear to every part of them. That is me. I created these back in 2019. So this is my original, who sits with me wherever I go. And yeah, I'm very proud of these little bears and their mission that they are on.
Mrs. Mood Bear, I love that.
I love that. Yeah. That's the title for the episode already.
That's
Perfect.
the title,
Save me a job, thank you.
Intro to Mrs. Mood Bear, there you go, Jo. I can't believe for an original as well. It looks so clean and fluffy and just squeezable.
I know, yeah, they do look amazing. They're lovely, aren't they? Tell us a bit about Mood Bears. So for our regular followers, you, like I say, you've met them before with Annette. But yeah, tell us a little bit about Mood Bears and the story behind them.
So Mood Bears came along by me back in 2019. It probably would have been about May time. And I went through a really, really difficult time in my life, a time that I never thought was possible, a time that I felt trapped in a very dark place. I found it very difficult to talk to people. I found it very difficult to understand my own emotions. And I never used to sleep. And at the time, I lived with my 3 children, my ex-husband at the time, and I used to sit up all night because sleeping, I'm sure everybody's been there,
Yeah.
2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it seems like a lifetime till everyone's going to surface and you see human life again. And I just used to sit up and draw just to pass the time away. And I'm no drawer at all, but I've doodled just little things that I liked, things that made me happy. So I'd draw flowers, I love flowers, I love gardening, I draw little beach scenes, I love the seaside, I love the summer, I drew sunshines, and then I started to get colour involved as well. So the sunshine's yellow because I love the sunshine, I colour things yellow, and bright colours just to kind of try and lift my mood a little bit and pass that time really. And I genuinely do love teddy bears. If you come and look around my house now, there's teddy bears in every corner of the room. From collectibles just to favourites, to ones that I had when I was 4 years old, just ones that I've collected over the years. So I drew a teddy bear and I coloured it yellow and I put little happy faces on its feet. And I looked at it and I thought, I'd love something like this in my house, just when I'm feeling really low and really down, that I can just sit and cuddle and almost make it take the sad feelings and help me understand them and take them away. So I thought, I'm going to find somebody just to make one bear for me. So I managed to find a factory. I made them sign an NDA. I've got no idea why I did that. This feeling came over me. I thought, I'm going to get them to sign an NDA. And it took 3 weeks to come. And when it came in this little tiny cardboard box on my doorstep, I opened it and I stood in my kitchen and I cuddled this bear, and honestly, I felt like someone had taken 20 bricks off each shoulder. I felt so much lighter in myself. And I thought, you know what, if that can do that to me, at the time I was 40 years old, if that could do that to me, I'm sure that could do that to millions of people. So I did a little gamble and I ordered a 40-foot container from the factory of bears.
Amazing. I
ordered 8 different ones and I gave them all a poem. And when you read the poems, it just helps you understand your thoughts, feelings and emotions and understand how to talk about them and share them with other people. And when they came, I just started to donate them. I thought I gave myself a bit of a world mission to make the world smile again, because I think no matter how rubbish you're feeling and how down you are, if you can put a smile on your face, you feel so much better. And even if it's for a split second, it doesn't matter. It just helps you. And then not only you, but everybody around you as well. So I started to donate them. And honestly, I never expected it. But within 24 hours, my phone never stopped ringing. from nurses, from schools, from hospitals, from care homes, wherever I'd left these bears. I looked a bit like Del Boy with a suitcase,
dragging all the bears around.
Love it.
How I never got arrested, I will never know, because I looked like this really odd woman walking around with a suitcase full of bears. And I'd just say, have them, do what you feel you need to do with them. I don't care who they go to, but please let me know how you get on. And honestly, I had head nurses ring me, schools, and just said, you have no idea how these bears are helping everybody. And I kind of thought, you know what, it'll just be children. They'll just help children, even though they help me. But they were also helping adults. So I had nurses ring me and say, I know you left them to the children's ward, but we went and stole a couple and gave them to some of the adults that's really struggling.
Yeah.
And they really worked. So I thought, that's massive. And then it made me wanted me to continue this mission then. I thought, right, I could really get into this now. And it could fly everywhere. So and here we are now, 5-6 years later, and they are all over the world, and I'm very, very proud of them.
I love that. Like all the different people, like at different ages, in different situations. And I think, like you say, it's having something that people can kind of cuddle or comfort or have some connection with in a world where they might be feeling lost or feeling lonely or, feeling really sad. And actually, it doesn't matter what age.
No, and we can vouch for that. I mean, our corporate launch event last November.
Yes.
A room full of sort of heads of service, team managers, social workers, foster carers. Absolutely. The happiest everyone was when
80 people, 80 adults in the room. And then what happened?
Full-size Moo Bear appeared.
Yeah.
Photos galore. Loved it. Absolutely brilliant. And
they were queuing up for photos. Adults queuing up for photos with this life-size teddy bear.
Yeah, and it's amazing, like you say, just to see where we've heard some of the stories from our foster carers. So sort of a foster carer in Dorset who's been heavily involved in some of our projects talked about when a non-verbal child arrived and they had real trouble with attachment to the child, and the box of Moo Bears arrived, which was a grateful donation from yourselves. Actually, it was the first they dived straight into the box, and ever since then it was just like a completely different, grew in confidence, came out of their shell, could then start verbalising and communicating some of these emotions and thoughts that can be quite tricky for anyone, especially someone going through such a period of change. And you do sort of start hearing this, there's so many lovely stories with it. It's amazing.
This is a question for both of you, really. Like, how did our partnership together with Fostering South West and Moo Bears, like, how did that kind of come about?
I think it was some stuff I'd seen online and some of the partnership work that you guys had done already, and I thought, actually, there's a real gap in this. We sort of speak to a lot of my early experience with talking to foster carers and children and young people. Actually, there was this gap, and emotions and understanding mental health and wellbeing is so important, something I really champion. But actually, when I learnt about your mission and what you guys were doing and found out a little bit actually some of the work you do with like the NHS and some of the trusts, care homes, etc., I just thought actually there is this real cohesion between the two brands, and there's such a big difference that actually foster care gets kind of forgotten about sometimes, that they don't maybe get the access to opportunities like some of the partnership with the Moo Bears and the access to gratefully heavily discounted products and opportunity to sort of training days and days out and just shared moments together. Actually, there was a real chance for us two to come together, wasn't there, and just spread the word a little bit and see how it can help children, young people and adults who are maybe having a bit of a tough time, like you talked about.
We've got so many stories already, and like you say, we're a year and a half into the hub, but probably a year into the relationship with kind of Joe, the founder of Moo Bears. But we've got so many stories of foster carers kind of buying the toys or local authorities buying them for their foster carers. But even how people have responded to it online in some of the online competitions and things that we've done as well. Yeah,
100%. I mean, we've run some competitions together, haven't we, on social media, and it's been amazing to see people's interaction. So sort of your audiences coming into thinking about fostering, and that led to a sort of a really strong direct inquiry and some really great conversations, but then vice versa, those who are maybe thinking about what can I do for this new child or young person that's now in my life? How can we sort of support them a little bit more? And actually they see the mission behind Moo Bears. They see the poem and the nice sort of the soft approach behind it, and also actually the strong meaning it is, because whilst it's a lovely toy, which I think is easy to be forgotten, that has that really nice meaning behind it in terms of actually communicating those feelings.
Jo, you mentioned kind of in the beginning you've got your original, you've got that one with you there, and then was it kind of 8 others? So could you tell us a little bit more about the differences of those 8 and maybe some of the poems that come with them?
So this is Happy Bear, and Happy Bear, when you read Happy Bear's poem, I suppose Happy's there just to help you keep that smile on your face. And if you're feeling a bit down and just not your normal self, when you read Happy Bear's poem, it almost brightens your mind again. It's so many children that have said these bears are magic. It's just been amazing to see how they've helped. So then Calm Bear, everyone needs a bit of calm in their life sometime. And Calm Bear again is there for any of those butterfly feelings, if you're just feeling a bit nervous, a bit anxious. And Calm Bear's poem again just helps you understand that and helps you almost become calm and bring yourself down from those nervous moments. Very, very, really popular Calm Bear is. Love Bear, you know what, we all need a bit of love in our lives.
I love that one.
We all need a cuddle, and we all need to feel loved. And again, Love Bear is just, everybody needs a Love Bear.
And that also fits with some of the conversations that we've had recently about love that is within fostering and children who are looked after needing to kind of feel that love, and foster carers being able to kind of show that love to them as well.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important for children who are looked after and care experienced young people.
Absolutely. And then Hope Bear, which I know you've got, Ray.
Yeah.
So Hope Bear is there with, Hope Bear has got all of the emotions all into one. And when you read Hope Bear's poem is about, if you feel like there's a real storm in your life, even if it's just a day, at the end of that storm, there's always a rainbow to help you feel so much better. And that is Hope Bear all over. So Hope Bear, or Ray, as you call it.
Yeah, it's Ray. Yeah, our little mascot, Ray.
Yeah, we did a competition, didn't we?
Yeah.
Someone renamed him.
Yeah. And Ray and Hope have had probably the biggest affinity of fostering South West, and they've actually been one of the things we've brought together as a region. So all of the local authorities have a Ray/Hope Bear, and I think at one point there were no Ray/Hope Bears available left in the UK. I think in November time, weren't there? I think
They went crazy. They did go crazy. And then Sad Bear, and people go, do you know what? Why would I want a Sad Bear? Why would I want a Sad Bear? But when you read Sad Bear's poem, it's really lovely actually, because it almost not takes your sad away, because everyone needs that sad emotion sometimes. We all it is normal to have emotions. It's natural. Everybody needs emotions. You should be able to cry, you should be able to feel anxious, you should have those butterflies. It is normal life, you know, that's how it is. But Sad Bear is there to basically to try and help you talk about why you're feeling sad. And not only that, but they're also good for if you don't want to communicate. You know, if a child or an adult goes into work or goes into school or goes to a new foster home and you're feeling a bit sad, just sit with your little Sad Bear. It just gives someone an idea who's around you, or you might be feeling a bit sad today or a bit nervous. We'll spend a bit of time and, you know, try and get you to talk about your feelings. And that's really important. So Sad Bear does work really, really well. And then we've got Silly Bear. So Silly Bear is there. You know, we all need to be silly sometimes.
We do.
Definitely.
When you read Silly Bear's poem, it's all about being silly in the right places at the right times. So we all need a bit of silly in our life. Now, got a really interesting one is Angry Bear. So again, when I looked at Angry Bear, anger is a normal emotion again. We all get angry sometimes. We all get upset, which leads on to anger as well. And I found when I was looking into the emotions and children and parents and asking them, a lot of parents are saying, you know, my little boy or little girl is really angry and I don't think they understand what that feeling is and why they feel like that. And it was also very popular with a lot of non-verbal children as well, because they were holding this anger because they couldn't get the feelings across. So Angry Bear's poem is there again, just to say, again, it's normal to have these feelings. You need to talk about them. You need to try and understand why you feel like that. And hopefully take that anger part away from you again. So that's Angry Bear. And this time of year, as we all know, that all the schools are going back, Nervous Bear is very, very popular. I mean, Nervous Bear is popular anyway, but Nervous Bear for children either starting school or going into new foster care or wherever they go in, that gives us those awful butterfly feelings that a lot of children don't understand what that feeling is, do they? They don't know whether they feel a bit sick, they're not quite sure, they just don't feel right. Nervous Bear is there to get you to understand those funny butterfly fluttery feelings in your tummy and hopefully take them away and get you to understand a bit better. But all in all, they're all there to help you talk about what you think those feelings might be and try and understand them more. So that is all 8 mood bears.
Oh, I love them.
And it's lovely. And you talk a little bit there at the end, sort of around that transition, sort of new school, foster caring, like new placements, etc. for children and young people. And actually, it's a really nice continuous sort of thing to have, isn't it? So you've got your mood bear, you've got the emotions behind it, and that's a piece of work we're looking at together, isn't it, Joe, and with Sonia, and who's been heavily involved with the members of our team. But actually, how can we give sort of children and young people that consistent, that they've got at home, they've got at school, they recognise this toy/emotional piece, that when they need a bit more support and help, they've got this to go to, and what can that look like for foster carers and for everyone involved. And there are so many opportunities behind it, because I think emotions are such an important thing, and for children normally, and for sort of adults and everyone, actually understanding and being able to communicate can be so hard sometimes, that having a tool to support, especially going through so much change, is so important.
Yeah, emotions are typical, we all experience them in different ways, and for some people they can feel really scary, and we might not have been taught about them or know what these feelings are. And the thing that mood bears allows us to do, and children to do, is understand a bit more about what's going on for them, or maybe for other people, or and they're learning what other people might be thinking and feeling. But there's this work that you're doing together in terms of looking at additional workbooks and creative things that can go along with the mood bears in schools or in fostering families, to help children and young people understand even more about their emotions. I think is absolutely beautiful.
It's lovely. It is lovely. And the feedback we've had so far from a lot of schools that use them is, again, it's not only helping the children and the teachers understand, but then those children are going home, and then the way they're talking about their feelings and emotions is helping everybody else around them then. So it's kind of having a domino effect on everybody around them, which is amazing, really. It's lovely to see that, it's creating that happy home and happy lifestyle, and that's what we want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So that's the hope, is that kind of working together, we'll have this development piece, that hopefully we can use in for our foster families,
100%.
but also kind of more into schools. When are we hoping to kind of be able to move more towards this?
We're moving quite quick with it at the minute, aren't we? Looking to base it around academic years, and it's getting there. So we're working in Dorset with a bit of a pilot, so working really closely there. Okay. So that's really nice. We've found some Rockybar Constellations who are really keen to get involved. And then I think probably from the new academic year, we're going to start looking to push this forward and start testing it, understanding it, how it works, what doesn't work, what we can do better, and then sort of taking it across the region with, I think, eventually the view. We've talked a lot about nationalising this piece, because obviously the Mood Bears partnership is something bespoke to Fostering Southwest at the minute, which is amazing and a fantastic opportunity. And we talked a bit for Foster Care Fortnight around involving the Fostering Network and some of the other hubs, and I think there's that real big success case behind it for children, young people and foster carers and the hubs themselves as to this. So I know that's kind of watch your space, isn't it, Jo?
Absolutely. It's really exciting, actually. It's lovely. And I mean, I know the amount of work you've put into this already is just outstanding, but to think that it could go across the rest of the UK and the nation, it'd be great to nationalise it, definitely.
Absolutely. And I think that's the idea, isn't it, is that potentially we might be able to work more closely with other fostering hubs. Some we've already met in other episodes, but this is about all children, and children who are also kind of looked after and care experienced, but also helping foster carers as well.
Exactly. And there are some special discount codes obviously available through Fostering Southwest for people, so they'll be in the description/link in bio after this, so people can sort of see a little bit more and find out more.
And then you've also got ones that talk as well, haven't you, Jo?
Yeah, there's some talking ones. So we've got Happy, Hope and Calm Bear that talk, and they say the poem. So if for children that have got impaired vision and they can't see very well, but that poem behind the bears are really, really important. And I don't think I realised that until they started to go out to people. Then the feedback I was getting was saying, goodness, that poem. Because, from when I started school at 4 years old, I can remember poems from being in that little reception class all those years ago, 40, oh my goodness, too but I can remember poems from them, and they just roll off your tongue, don't they? And I think, if you're having a day where you're really struggling or worried or anxious, but you can remember that poem in your head if you've not got your bear to hand. Again, it's a great tool to have, definitely.
Didn't even think of it that way. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really nice. I know Torbay have used a lot of those. So Annette, who we've met before, she's one of the biggest Mood Bears brand ambassadors, I could say, probably since times began. But yeah, she's done an awful lot of work with the talking Mood Bears and seen those to be really positive and children really engaging nicely with those. I think some had comforters as well, didn't they? Which I know they really enjoyed, and that was just a really nice little extra thing.
What's next for Mood Bears, Jo?
Well, we've got a YouTube channel, actually. They've got their own little YouTube channel. So each bear has got their own episode out, and they are amazing. And I think I wanted that because we all know what it's like in the morning. We get up for work, we get up for school, whatever we're doing in the morning. It is like a little rat race, isn't it? You're up and you're busy. And I kind of wanted some things for people to have on in the background about whatever they were feeling that morning, so it could help them get them through that day. So the little 5 to 7 minute episodes, they are really lovely when you watch them. So it's on the Mood Bear YouTube channel, and that was kind of the next step. So we've achieved that. So who knows where they'll be next? I just want to think I can continue that mission of making the world smile, and I will carry on, forever, as long as I can.
I mean, I'm sat here cuddling Ray at the moment, cuddling Hope Bear, and it just feels really nice and soft, like while I'm talking, and I think I don't even realise that I'm stroking their little fur. So I can, the comfort I think that it can bring, but also helping that communication and that understanding for everybody, for children and adults, and of adults for like understanding more about what kind of is going on for children. So
I might start putting them next to me for my Teams call so everyone knows how I'm feeling.
Okay, I'll wait for that on the next team meeting day.
But no, that's amazing. I mean, from the Fostering Southwest and fostering perspective, what's your hope for the future there? How do you
Do you know what? I've never been involved. I don't even know anybody that's been fostered, but I can only imagine how daunting that feeling must be for any child, not just the child, but the foster family as well, who's taking on a new child that's going to walk through their front door. The feeling that child must have, and the family that they're walking into, I can't even imagine what it must be like. It must be the most scariest moment of your life. If these can be within every single foster home, and for a child to think that they can have one to take with them on their journey of foster care or later on into adoption or wherever they may be or go, it's just lovely to think it could be their little best friend almost, that they can sit and talk to and understand the feelings more, and again just help them to be happy and communicate. And I think communication's key for anybody, and that's what I love to see them used all over the world, really. And I know you're doing an amazing job in the Southwest, but to think that we can carry on spreading that through would be great to see it.
It's really beautiful, kind of like you say, thinking about all children everywhere. And you're so passionate about what you do. And I think because it comes from a really personal place for you as well. And I think, what you have already achieved and what you're going to achieve with all of these as well in the future is just absolutely beautiful. And I think essential. And actually, it's almost surprising that there isn't anything like this already. And it's like, because it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. It does make sense. It's something so simple, so simple that I can remember when I was feeling at my lowest part, and somebody said to me, "You need to go to your GP." And I went to the GP, and I was in there. My goodness, not even 5 minutes, and they'd not even given me eye contact. Wrote a prescription and said, "There you go, off you go." And I thought, they're not going to help me communicate. I need something to focus on, and it just gives you a focus. And there's books out now and colouring books, and again, it's that focus that helped me and helped my mood and emotions and help me understand and talk about it. And I think the more you do talk about it, the better you feel in yourself. And then again, it has that effect on everybody else that's around you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you ever so much for sharing that with us, Jo, and helping everyone to understand a little bit more about why we have our Mood Bears, and that, we've spoken about them before. And then hopefully maybe we could do another podcast in the future when we've got the kind of the learning pack kind of in place to see how that's going. and we can then share that with more people.
Definitely. Yeah. But no, it's so lovely to hear, like you say, your story. The passion really comes through, and it's so evident in in all of it.
Yes, beautiful.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to share a story. Always.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jo. So until our next episode.
Until next time.
Yeah, Ray will be back next time as well.
Yeah.
Although he might have his new place kind of sat with me now because I feel quite comfortable here.
He's going to be sat here instead now.
He's going to be sat here instead, yeah. But we'll see you all on our next episode.
See you all soon.
Thank you for joining.